Welcome, America. The Odds Brothers podcast number 34 coming to you live at the Bentley Sportsbook inside Southland Casino and Hotel in beautiful West Memphis, Arkansas. In case you're wondering, it's right across the river from Memphis, Tennessee. Come see us sometime. Beautiful Monday, my friend.
I guess.
You want to know why?
No.
You're going to hear.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! How about them Cowboys? With a 40-3 whooping, as they would call it, yesterday.
Just threw up.
Yeah, I don't want to hear all that.
So, you heard that dark voice in the corner. We'll introduce him in a second. Since he can't beat us, he decided to join us finally. Welcome to the show, El Preston.
Well, thank you, sir.
Roll that
Glad to
beautiful
be
bean
back.
footage.
All right, maybe.
Welcome to the Odds Brothers podcast, coming to you from the Bentley Sportsbook inside the new Southland Casino and Hotel. Follow the Odds Brothers podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Today's show is presented by Bentley Online Sportsbook. Download the Bentley Online state-specific sportsbook app today from the Google Play or Apple App Stores. Now here are the hosts of the show, Moneyline Mark,
I'm not a smart man.
and Point Spread Shane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, man, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. How'd you manage to do that?
I'm not even sure.
Just start slapping keys around?
That's it.
I'm slapping it around.
It's probably
buttons.
It's probably from that vomiting intro you did with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Hey, there you are again.
There
everybody.
it is.
Here I am.
There's Preston. Welcome, everybody, to the Odds Brothers podcast. Yeah, we're getting some technology today, so
We hope.
That's
we
right.
hope. Yeah, one more time.
I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Pardon me.
And by the way, I thought I was going to get a double bonus because it sure looked like until Indianapolis lost its friggin' mind yesterday, Eagles were about to drop 2 in a row. When really the only thing they had to worry about all day is Jalen Hurts. So let's drop everybody back into the end zone and let him walk right in.
That's it.
Great play, by the way.
I thought it was a great play.
I
yeah,
did too.
I'm sure you did. I'm
Look.
sorry. Didn't you take the Eagles?
And I was actually rooting for you yesterday because I needed the Vikings to lose. So that helped
I
me
know
out.
you needed it.
I know that helped me out.
We'll get you back.
I'm sure.
Ooh, doggy.
All right,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go, everybody, on a WTF Monday. We're going to recap all the top 25 action also
Well,
with our picks, which weren't that delicious this week, to be honest with you. Plenty of, if they weren't upsets, they were not even close to covers here on some of the favorite teams in the world. Preston, why don't you kick it off? We'll give some thoughts as you read down the stats and, of course, our glorious picks.
I just think, first of all, I'd like to say that you were about 2 minutes of football away from the selection committee having a big WTF moment
Yes.
with TCU and Michigan right there at the very end of the game catching those.
And then if you looked at the
Because it would've been
halftime
real
score
messed
of Ohio State, you were starting to wonder what the heck was in the water.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of iffy stuff going on. So
All right. So what do you got here? What's
the first one I just don't even want to talk about. It's
Oh, yeah.
I know it cost me a really big parlay this weekend. But Navy in Central Florida, Navy won the game outright. They didn't even need all those points, 16.5. So.
Yeah, one
It was,
outright. I knew Navy was playing better, so you see my beautiful face on the Navy side of the coin, but I was using all 16.5 points, I thought, to get this game in. I didn't think they'd win outright. Otherwise, it would have been one of those Odds Brothers odds boosts.
Yeah, so why don't you like this game, Preston?
Well, sir, if you want to just keep rubbing salt in the wound, it did cost me a very large 20-game parlay.
Ah, sweet.
I went 19 out of 20, and this was the game that busted me right here.
So you don't want to talk about it?
I would like not to talk about it. There's nothing really to talk about.
Okay,
You
we'll
see,
talk
I've
about
looked
it.
great up until this week.
We'll talk about it Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, real quick, so when you say 20-leg parlay, what you've been trying to string along in various forms, whether it be 10, 12, 15, or 20
Right.
legs, is what?
Just
a lot
super
of these
favorites.
heavy super money line favorites and try to
Yeah.
string them all together for
That's
what?
it.
About 3 to 1?
Plus 3 to 1. Yeah, I think this one I just bet it was 3.5 to 1.
Okay.
It was a lot of heavy favorites in college basketball and college football. So I just try to piece them together, win a little bit here and there. I don't have to hit the home run every time. If I can just keep my money running, that's good.
Don't have to retire.
That's nice.
I mean, I'd love to retire. I guess a 20-game regular parlay pays about $2 million on a $10 bet or something like that. So
At some sports books. With ours, it's $250,000.
okay.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about that.
You know, Sierra Mist tastes a lot better after a Cowboys win. All right, what's the next game now, Mark?
Keep going with that.
Yeah, so Preston was talking about this earlier. Michigan on the ropes.
Yep.
Needed a field goal late and some luck a little bit, defense, a fumble, a turnover,
And luck.
and luck.
And luck. And they were favored by 18.5. They only scored 19 for the whole game. So, I mean,
Yeah, they
That's
had
pathetic.
blank Illinois out. Yeah, it was.
Absolutely pathetic.
And so the under of 41.5, my goodness gracious. I mean, that still went under in this game.
Big Ten football.
Yeah,
That's
so
all it is.
there's no faces there because Mark and I both thought that it was going to be a slow but steady dump trucking in a way. And then when you looked at the score at the end, Michigan would be 20 to, I think you even said like 4 touchdowns at one point.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So-
and they proved me wrong. They're like, here, watch, we'll act like we don't know how to play football.
Right.
Good job.
I just don't know how they would have. I know Illinois, in theory, had a decent defense. They've been a little exposed. Michigan State rolled up some good scores on them, good points on them. But how Michigan, well, they lost a big running back, Corum.
They did.
Who knows if he's going to be ready for the big matchup against Ohio State next week. But I didn't think that one guy was going to completely change the look of their offense, but it sure in the hell
does.
did.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I thought they had somewhat of a passing game to go with that.
No, we talked about last week about those two kind of looking at each other and worrying about injuries, and here it comes. It hit them. And so next week, I don't know that Michigan can keep up with their offense.
Stay tuned.
Well, there's another barn burner.
There's another barn burner. Yeah,
Oh,
TCU.
yeah.
Ooh.
TCU, Baylor.
They stay undefeated, so they stay in the college football playoff there. But once again, a basically walk-off field goal at the end.
And they were running to the line to try to get the
Oh,
kickoff.
my God. I never – you know what that reminded me of in a different format was last year's Dallas-San Francisco quarterback sneak. And they thought they'd have plenty of time to spike it and get a play in.
Right.
They run to set up the field goal with no timeouts left, let the clock keep ticking, obviously, and then they run the field goal unit off. The kicker didn't even mark off back from the football. You know how they put their foot there
Right.
and then walk 3 steps? He didn't even do that. He just kind of sit there and booted one up. I guess he's lucky that wasn't like some 50, 55-yard attempt to win because I'm not sure you could line up and get that lined up as a kicker.
No, I don't think he made it by much anyway. It looked like it was kind of short coming off of his foot, but it got through eventually.
So once again, we did take TCU. They almost, I mean, it was only 2.5 points, but they only win by 1, so obviously no cover there.
Yeah, the odds makers thought it was going to be closer than we thought.
Yeah, I thought there was some error in the line because I really didn't think Baylor, I thought they were going to play tough at the beginning, but I thought the TCU offense would just eventually wear them down. So
TCU, I mean, they surprised me last week beating Texas like they did, but this one here, I thought they'd blow them out.
Well, Austin Peay and Alabama, there was no line on there. Forget that 15.5.
If there was a line on it,
15
Alabama
and a half.
didn't cover it.
15.5, yeah, they covered. We had it.
Yeah, we had it all that. We lost a lot of money in sportsbook that day on that line. No, just kidding. 34-0 was all that was, guys.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying real hard. I don't understand.
Did they play any starters?
For a minute.
For a minute?
Just for a minute.
Seems like it.
Got them loosened up.
All right, Alabama goes Auburn in the Iron Bowl next week.
Yeah, I think that's what they were looking forward to. That's why they didn't play them very long.
All right.
Here's another.
Florida State. Man, they're playing a lot better than I thought they were going to start the year. I know they beat LSU early, but it's just I didn't have a whole lot of faith in them. But here they are, just dump trucking people week after week.
Yeah, I didn't give them a lot of credit. Still haven't through the years. The thing, I just thought, Louis, I took the over. I said that was the most appealing part of the line, but Florida State, I thought Louisiana Lafayette, wherever you might be, Raging Cajuns, I'm not sure who they are, but I thought that they could stay within 24.5 of Florida State. That's how much not credit I gave Florida State. They seem to play up and down to whoever they're playing that week.
Well, their offenses looked really good the last 2 weeks. I mean, Miami and Louisiana Lafayette's not a whole lot of defensive competition, but they have looked good. Yeah. So they'll get a decent bowl game, I believe.
My goodness. Next one, I can't. Kansas State.
Kansas State.
This is the first time I actually picked them, and they held on. I pick against them, they blow a team out. I pick them, they lose to, like.
Yeah, they're not going to lose against West Virginia.
Hey, if you bet the over-under on this one, you were sweating it, though.
48-31. Yeah, right.
It was real close.
So now Kansas State's 8-3 on the year. I have to look
Sweet.
back on the beautiful bean footage and when we all picked where we thought they'd land in the Big 12, but I don't think we had them there.
I did. I fact checked all of them.
Yeah, you're 90%
90%
wrong.
Man, it's getting deep in here. I can't even breathe.
That's good. You're allergic to the BS.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Oregon State next.
That's right.
Playing on the road, but Arizona State's terrible. So
Yeah, this pick
I
was
think
for
y'all
free.
both, y'all both got that one right.
Yeah, that's right.
Although, to be honest, it seems like when the big teams go down to either face Arizona or Arizona State, they never covered. But a lot of those were
Yeah, those
Those
points.
teams were just scoring.
20,
Yeah.
25 point spreads. This one's 7.5. I had to sit there and look at Mark like, are we sure that's right?
Yeah.
I got that one right. Oregon
Yep.
State is surprising 8-3, and I'm almost damn sure there's no way in hell either one of us.
I had that one too.
Of course you did,
90% fact check.
90%. That's one of those ones you had 90% wrong.
Oh, this game here.
Twittered.
Wow, this game was great. Notre Dame, that was the easiest bet all week.
I didn't think Boston College could score at all, and sure enough,
You're
they didn't.
right.
They didn't, not at the point.
But I didn't think Notre Dame was going to roll 44, so I believe I said under because I thought Notre Dame was going to be the only team that
Right.
scored, and they were.
They were.
They took care of it themselves by a half a point there. So sorry.
Did you see the field? Did you see the pictures of the
I did
field?
not.
So, at one point in the third quarter, they took a picture of the field where there was no snow, and like 3 minutes later, you could see there was a cover in snow, and about 5 minutes later, it was just completely covered. Like the snow fell so fast during the third quarter of that game. 3 different pictures about 10 minutes apart, and you could never tell it was the same field.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Not quite Buffalo, New York, but
Well,
or Orchard Park. But yeah, I like snow games.
I wish they'd have played in Buffalo. I tried to bet the under on the Buffalo game when I thought it was going to be in all that snow, but they moved it on me.
And you have to be happy about that. Because depending on what sports book and what the rules are, necessarily the venue change doesn't necessarily change or void tickets.
Right.
Some places it does, some places it don't.
Yep.
It's more the date or the week if they don't play it that they change it. But we had a couple of those questions too, right?
We did here at the sports book, yep, here at Southland. We had some guests that weren't happy.
They weren't happy?
No. They wanted to change their bet.
Oh.
And a lot of them probably would have changed it to what?
The under.
Oh,
Or,
really?
I'm sorry, the
taking
over.
the
They
over,
had the
yeah.
under. They had the under, just like what Preston wanted to bet.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to play in all that snow and just run the ball every time. And
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to pick the under, but it didn't work out that way.
No.
All right.
They
Here's
can make
where-
another bet and get that under.
Right.
Here's where no snow happened. Georgia on the road to Kentucky, 16-6. So I thought Georgia was going
Unranked
to wear them out.
Kentucky.
Yeah, after the loss to Vanderbilt, and Kentucky's really disappointed me. I thought that they were going to be probably at the end of the year something like 7-5-ish,
Oh.
which I guess they're still kind of in the
Fixing to say,
range
you're
for.
about right.
But the teams they're losing to, I didn't chalk them up to losses. This one I did, but they did play a lot. I don't know what Georgia. Their defense has always been pretty consistent, I guess, is what my point. But their offensive output, sometimes you just shake your head. Like, how can you not hang more than 16 on Kentucky?
I don't know. We hung, 60 on them? No, it was like 44 to 6, I think.
It was
the final
close.
score.
And we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Another undefeated team that struggled to halftime and then pulled away there, Preston.
Yeah, Ohio State. It didn't look pretty early, for sure. I thought Maryland was going to give them a run for their money. It was going to be just like the rest of those games. Just keeping super close and having to pull it out at the end. But they
And in a way they did because
Got
they
away
were
with it.
favored by 4 touchdowns. They win by, 13?
yeah.
The scariest part about that one is just when you thought Ohio State's defense was good, they got 30 hung on them. So, once again, I guess this is a year where for the college football playoff for the first time, there's probably no real lock like you always felt like it was going to be Alabama no matter who the other 3 teams were. I'm not so sure it's going to be that way this year.
I kind of wish all these teams would have gone the other way just to see what the playoff committee did with it because it'd have been a mess.
Yeah, it would have been a
If
mess.
Michigan and TCU would have lost those games,
Next
it would
thing
have
you
been
know,
a mess. trying to
Alabama
figure
would have
this
been number 1 again.
They're
They're aching for that crap.
out. Nick
All right.
Saban's trying to figure out any way to get back in.
Here's a sneaky team, Clemson.
Clemson.
I thought this was rather easy because Miami's a dumpster fire of a team right now.
They're
So
terrible.
I didn't care. 20 points, 24 points. I was willing to lay that. And so they get that one with the over almost by themselves.
Yeah. I didn't think their offense was going to score that many points just because they haven't really scored a whole lot. But Miami's not going to score there. They
So
couldn't score against Florida State. They're sure not going to score against Clemson.
So that should lock them into the ACC title game.
Yeah.
The question is now against who?
Well, maybe we'll get to that here a little later.
Yes, Penn State's That's your next one.
Penn State.
Oh, there's two faces there.
Yeah.
Again,
We're on a hot streak here.
that's right.
They don't trust Rutgers.
It won't be
Savor it
long.
while it's going because it's
Yeah.
going to fall off here shortly.
It is.
So they win by 45. I'm sure that easily covered. And the over-under, well, they got the over themselves.
Yeah, Rutgers has not been very good this year. So
Yeah, thanks for playing, Rutgers.
yeah, at least they showed up. They scored more points than Boston College did.
Uh-oh.
This the biggest bounce of the summer.
Hey, if you're coming in, come down, play. If you feel too shy, then watch for me, watch for me.
This the biggest bounce of the summer.
Well, I still
Strength
heard
of their
music.
team is this
I
right
still-
here.
I still heard
Backlers
music.
double team rising up short. That leads to
I
a
still hear
breakout for
music.
UCLA. Andrews with the speed first and the Euro. Oh my goodness. Watch the step through here. 1, 2, get rid of it.
See ya.
Well,
Why don't you
we
get
can't
rid of
hear
it
what
before-
you're saying. There we go.
Now I can hear you.
Now I can hear you.
Ugh.
Ooh, well, at least you got a little shaky, boom, boom.
Wake up, everybody.
Louisville, 3.5-point favorites there. They easily cover against North Carolina State.
Easily.
Yeah.
North Carolina State always had trouble scoring points.
I haven't been high on them all year long. I haven't
Somebody picked them last week.
did they?
Yeah.
Mark did.
Oh.
No, you picked North Carolina.
Yeah, you picked
No, I
NC
did.
State.
I did because I didn't see much in Louisville. I thought they were going to keep this a little low. I actually thought the score would be reversed. That's what I was thinking was going to happen here. Obviously wrong.
Might be the only time you see just my head on college games.
I think so. See,
You
no,
took all those
just
undefeated
your head.
teams.
Just my head,
Yeah,
yeah.
you took all those undefeated teams like you normally do, and that didn't work out.
That's right.
Yeah, this
I
one
got
almost,
bamboozled.
This one almost didn't work out for us. Cincinnati, I didn't give them much credit to be even ranked again, but they, I thought Temple would just sucked, and they do.
They do.
But 23-3. I mean, come on. Cincinnati should roll a 40 burger on them pretty easily. They must have pulled everybody. I don't know.
I didn't like the line. I had them in my mega
20,
my mega 20 with the money line.
your Powerball
Yeah, I mean,
of
you know.
sports bets. How about this one? This is the one that really Georgia Tech. I mean, that win got them to 5-6 on the year, but
And you picked them.
I took them because I thought the points were going to be good. North Carolina is optional defense, and usually is the one that throws up a lot of points, right, Preston?
Right, yeah, they've got a ton of offense usually.
Usually,
they just
so.
all year long they've been scoring points at will.
I was just
and
like, give
I
me
don't
3
understand.
touchdowns and we'll see how it goes. But not only do you not cover, you just get flat out beat.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So that is terrible.
It knocked them out. I think it knocked them out of the ACC championship game.
It should have. I mean, you lose to Georgia Tech at home. Come on, man. Or
Whoops.
even on the road or here in Memphis, wherever.
Right.
Oh, here's one that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the double whammy burger, right?
What was the
I actually called this could be an upset special, but
what was the spread on this? I didn't put it on the graphic.
21.5. So basically 3 touchdowns here.
Oh, yeah.
They got beat by 3 touchdowns,
Huh.
pretty much. 63-38. So
Hey.
add insult to injury. Your QB goes out with
Hooker's
an
out,
ACL.
Hooker's out for the year, man. I hope he has a speedy recovery, and
Yeah.
he'll be back. He'll be back on Sundays. I think he's got enough talent to get in the NFL.
Just with 1 year, or you think he should come back?
Oh no, I mean I don't think he'll. I think
Think he's out?
I think that's it for his college career. I think he'll show up on Sundays.
Well, maybe he'll go to
we'll see.
Dallas.
See, now, this is not my body and my money, obviously, but the way Tennessee went out, or appears to go out this year, and the fact that you tore your ACL, you think you'd want to prove that you're back to full speed. Otherwise, I can't see how an NFL team drafts him anywhere before round 4 or 5, maybe 6 if they do that, because you don't know what he's going to come back like.
Right.
Now, he's never been Lamar Jackson running all over the place along with throwing the ball, but, I mean, his ability to move around is part of the game.
Right.
I would think that he would do himself a service to come back and improve his draft stock. Fourth round, 5th round money is sure a whole lot different than when you get 1st and 2nd round money.
That's true. That's true. But
just the thought.
I mean, it's back and forth because you know what happens if you come back and you take another hit next year, and then now that 4th or 5th round money looks pretty good versus no money.
I think you can get more NIL money than you can 4th or 5th round money in the NFL, especially in Knoxville.
Don't get me started on that. Now I'm lazy money. Because
Now
that's what
I'm
happens.
lazy
They
money,
get
I
the
know.
money and they get lazy. And, you know, that's part of this game right here. I thought once Spencer Rattler got all that money at Oklahoma, he just quit playing football. And he has up until this game.
Yeah,
he
in
looked like a
big
world
stage.
beater. I don't understand what made him decide to start playing football, but, I mean, he couldn't miss. He was dead on. Everything he threw the ball was great.
Probably fifth-ranked Tennessee got his juices flowing, right?
Maybe.
National TV game like that.
They do the same thing in the NFL.
What, get all the money and then quit playing?
Get all their money
Especially
and then get
running
lazy.
backs.
I was fixing to say, we'll talk about that later when we talk about that Cowboys game.
All right, I've got it queued up. Ready? Ole Miss.
All right. Big Suey.
Good Lord. Not
Lord.
only, and this wasn't even as close as the score showed.
No. Arkansas controlled this game from the beginning. It was crazy. I didn't see that coming. I guess they're fighting to stay bowl eligible, but I did not see this one at all.
I don't know, when you sit there and look at Arkansas, their season's just been crazy. Like, you lose to Liberty, you almost lose to, what was it, Southeast Missouri State at home or something like that.
Right.
You give Alabama a run to the money until midway through the third.
Yeah.
You take LSU pretty much wire to wire before losing that game, and then you dump truck Ole Miss.
Dump truck.
I don't know what causes that. You think they'd be up for all these games, but it seems like they're really big games. They do great in, and the ones they're supposed to win, they just don't show up at all. Coaching,
Play into the competition.
crazy. They're 6-5
think you can walk
and
through it?
bowl eligible now with their big game against Missouri somehow. Evidently border rival state thing, which I figured LSU would be more of a rival than Missouri would be. But anyway,
They played it as a rival game. LSU had all they could stand.
They did. All right, what's next? Oh, my goodness.
Oklahoma State,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's next.
Let's go ahead and do the funeral.
Bedlam.
Bye-bye, Oklahoma State. Tale of two seasons. First 6 games looked like world beaters, and then last 5 games or so, you suck. That's basically what came
Just
down
tell
to.
them how you really feel, Shane.
It's just, for a team that had so much promise, and Oklahoma, which if you're going to get Oklahoma on a year where they're down and don't have really but this game to play for at this stage, because now they're 6-5, so they are bowl eligible.
Since they made a bowl now.
They made a bowl. Not the bowl you're used to seeing Oklahoma try to play in, but yeah.
No, they may come here.
It's just
That may be the team
Liberty
that comes
Bowl?
here, the Liberty Bowl.
oh boy. Boomer Sooner. Okay. Move on. USC.
USC, UCLA. This was a great game to
Great
watch.
game.
It was fun, just back and forth, Madden style game to watch.
So the good predictive Shane, when we had this show on Friday, said, usually when you get these two high-powered teams together offensively and you see 75.5, that's when they disappoint you and they don't come close to going over. And I'm looking at most of the way through the first quarter.
It didn't look like it was going to get
They didn't
there.
look like it was going to
No.
come close to getting over. And then they said, hey, you know what? Why are we playing defense? Oh, you don't want to play defense? All right. And then they just started going up and down and scoring on each other. And somehow at this game, USC is now on the outside, just barely looking into the college football playoff. I wouldn't have thought that this would have solidified their position at all. I mean, this is the Oklahoma of the Pac-12, which makes sense because
it's Oklahoma.
it's
of the Pac-12.
Oklahoma's players and Oklahoma's
That's
old
right.
coach out there in the Pac-12. But, man, you let this many points get scored on you. I just don't know how they moved to 5th. I mean, that to me was a travesty. But anyway, we'll look at that later.
Well, they were a big TCU. They were rooting hard against TCU in this game because I feel like TCU would have lost. USC might have had a chance to sneak in. Now I'm not sure they get there.
Because, see, here's who I think should be there, LSU on the outside looking in. Of course, they got the 2 losses compared to USC 1, so
Right.
I guess they can't justify it, but it is weird because that seems to be skewed toward the SEC so much that you figure they justify it somehow. Schedule, whatever. But LSU goes ahead and dump trucks UAB.
Right.
41-10, wasn't even close.
It should have
At
been
14
close.
and a half, when Mark and I looked at it, once again, it was one of those like, was it the Arkansas game that scared him all of a sudden?
I don't know. I haven't looked at anything with UAB all year that said they were going to stay anywhere close to this game. So.
Well, save yourself 3 minutes if
Right.
you ever decide to go look it up because it ain't worth the read. Here, you got
right.
the Dookie emoji ready?
There it is, Colorado.
Oh, my goodness. I could not believe when Mark said he'll take the points here. 54-7.
There it is.
I could have gave 45 and been good.
There's a dookie. Hang on a second.
It's on the wrong side.
No,
There,
over there on the Colorado end of things, man, that is the worst team in college football.
That may be the new bowl game this year, the Dookie Bowl, between Colorado and Mark's favorite team, Nebraska.
Collar Duco. Ducarado.
Oh, no. Colorado would kill Nebraska.
Did it shock you that he actually took Nebraska this week with the points?
Yeah, he told me that.
All right.
It was a smart bet.
One last game. Turned out to be a good one as well. Oregon at home as a 2.5-point favorite, covered by a field goal here, Preston.
Yeah, I thought Utah would win the game after what happened last week with Oregon. I just felt like they were going to have the wind out of their sails, thinking they've lost the college playoffs, but they buckled back and came back and won the game. I didn't see it, but their offense didn't score any points, just like they normally don't against Utah. Utah just couldn't score.
I thought Oregon would win way more than 2.5. Sure, I said it on air.
No, they haven't been able to beat them.
There's been two tales. Yeah, there's been two tales of football, realistically. One being the Utah at home and Utah on the road. And they've been two different teams. So that's why I took Oregon, because I was like you, Preston. I thought that they played their asses off to stay in contention, and when they got beat, I thought, screw it.
Yeah, they just quit.
What else is there to play for? All right, and that's your...
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You know what the bet was, right?
I remember the bet.
What was the bet?
The bet was if Nebraska won outright, I would no longer use this. Let me get it on the correct side, because that's far from the correct side.
No, it's not far from the correct side. You can put it on both sides if you want.
Nope, I'm putting it right here.
After this year with Wisconsin.
The booby dookie.
That's right. He did say if Nebraska were to win this game outright, because I was asking him why he picked them. He thought he was going to keep it close.
Yeah,
Wisconsin's
Wisconsin's not good.
They don't score points.
But they're better than Nebraska.
But they are.
Only 1 point better.
Newsflash.
See, you could put it back on the other side as well.
I could, but hang on a second.
Yeah, going to be able to do it. No, you Cornhusker fans.
Oh, goodness.
One more game left. That's
Yeah.
gonna be a bowl
Deal with
game
him
this
one
year.
more.
And I had this one. I had Nebraska's record right for this year, by the way. Fact check.
Me too.
Fact check.
Fact check that.
You had it like they were going
Fact check
10-1 or some crazy stuff.
All right, before we get into the pros, though, let's just
Okay.
go and give you guys an idea, because with Thanksgiving coming up this weekend, there are some games going on, primarily Friday. So our ability to pick these, since they start at 11, is going to be a little bit compromised. But just to give you an idea what the top 25 looks like, Ole Miss on Thanksgiving night on ESPN is going to be hosting Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl.
Yep.
I do not have a line for that right now. I could open it up later, though. Tulane's at Cincinnati, so 21 ranked versus 25th there. That's at 11 a.m. on Turkey Day, or the day after Turkey Day.
Yeah, Friday.
Baylor at Texas is a good game, even though neither one of those are scheduled. But Texas, in some polls, are still ranked 24th, believe it or not. They just cannot let Texas go.
Who's
into
playing
the
at home in
deep
that
dark
game?
night. Texas is.
They should be favored by a touchdown then.
NC State's going against North Carolina. We'll see if you get any action out of that one. UCLA's at California. We'll see if they want to play anymore.
That'll dump truck them.
And Florida's at number 19, Florida State. So you got a lot of those games going on.
Good. I get to see
before we
Florida
get to
lose
the
again.
Saturday and we get to the big boy games. Yeah. So South Carolina and Clemson are playing. Michigan, Ohio State. Georgia Tech at Georgia. West Virginia at Oklahoma State. Which, who cares? Oklahoma State. I don't think you're even in the top 25, hopefully, anymore after I look this up. Oh, Oregon at Oregon State. That ought to be a good one at 2:30 on Saturday.
Somebody from Oregon wins.
I'll bet on that.
That's a nice call there,
That's
Mark.
definitely going in my parlay.
Just when you thought you couldn't add any more to the show.
Right.
And Notre Dame's at USC. Ooh, that's a
good
nice
game.
6:30 game. All right, so those are college wrap-up.
Just wait a minute. Well, just one more shout-out before we leave college.
All right.
I just want to shout out to Vandy for finally getting the Florida bug off their back. Vandy knocks off Florida at home for the
Kentucky.
first time in years and years and years and years.
Kentucky.
And I just like seeing Florida lose and wanted to make sure I mentioned that on the show. Thanks.
And I 100% know for sure that I did not have the over in the Vanderbilt season win total. I know for sure.
Neither one of y'all were close.
No. By the way, neither were you.
I didn't pick that one, sir.
I know, but you still weren't.
You're right.
You're going to tell me you're going to pick Vandy over?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think their over-under was 2. I thought that was too high.
Sportsbooks win.
Oh, goodness. Oh, let's move to the NFL.
All right.
Are you ready, Mark?
I want to talk
I'm
more about
ready.
the NFL than I do the.
All right, one last thing on the college games. 21 games in the top 25 outside of the Alabama game because it had no line. Out of those 21 games, 12 went under, 9 went over, 13 favorites covered outright, and 4 underdogs won outright. Leaving the other, what's that, 17, 4 games, meaning that the favorite won, but not by enough points. So that'll give you a hint on what's coming in the world of the NFL because, as Mark will be able to tell you, when the favorites win and or cover outright, it's a bad day for the sports books.
Very bad.
All right, let's
Yesterday
get to
was
it.
not good.
Falcons. Oh, look, I am over there. I did get the hook here. Falcons were favored by 3.5. I took the Bears thinking the Bears were going to win outright, but I did get saved by the hook in this case. Preston.
Mark, when are you going to learn to stop betting on Atlanta? You pick them. Every time you pick them, they lose.
You're right.
And then you pick against them, and you lose.
And on the show, I said, if they lose, I win because Steven's team loses. But they actually won. I was actually afraid of that. I thought the hook was going to be in my favor, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No.
Ever.
No.
Now the Falcons are still within striking distance of the division lead, as pukey as that sounds, at 5-6 now. So
that's disgusting.
And for Justin Fields, I don't know how it's going to go out for the Bears, even though they've been losing with him. He's been playing a lot better. He's got a hurt left shoulder, so we'll see what happens there. So much for my fantasy team's playoff chances because I needed to pretty much run the table, and he was my only quarterback on the roster.
Oh, was I playing you this week?
You probably were.
I was playing somebody this week that lost Justin Fields out.
Yeah, sucks. All right, next one. The Browns, the Brownies, and the Bills. This was my best bet of the week, and I had to sweat it out thanks to the Bills allowing those useless touchdowns at the end. Thank God Cleveland didn't try to go for 2 and just kick that extra point to leave it at 8 for the onside kick because they probably would have let him have the 2 points too.
Right.
But the Bills did cover by a half a point here, and it went over that 41.5 thanks to being in the dome instead of 7 feet of snow.
That's right. It'd have been a lot of fun to watch. I think it'd have been so much fun to watch, though. I mean, nobody had been in the stands to watch it, but it'd have been fun to watch on TV.
Fun to watch, yep.
Yeah, the Bills don't look good at all. They started off hot. They don't look good.
They don't. Josh, I was worried. I start Josh Allen as my fantasy quarterback, and first half I'm looking at it, I'm like, I could have gone out and picked up Daniel Jones to start instead of Josh Allen right here because he's just not playing well. But second half he woke up, I guess.
Not with his legs, so he's intentionally not running much anymore. It leads you to believe that they're trying to protect this elbow and get him to play it out for as long as that happens. I don't know. I don't see the 80-yard passes, but I see some pretty good deep attempts, and to me, he seems to be okay throwing the ball, just throwing it with double coverage in mind. Like, he's invincible guy all of a sudden. And they're going to have a quick turnaround because they'll be playing in that exact same stadium on Thanksgiving against the Lions, who are all of a sudden pretty hot.
Well, I saw a stat that was the first time that the home team had a winning record inside that stadium in, 4 years?
Indianapolis Colts, man. Ooh, had them down 16-3. Thought that they found and solved the Philadelphia Eagle offense. Basically just shadow and have somebody on Justin Fields, on Jalen Hurts the entire time and let him try to beat you throwing the ball. And then they decided not to do any of that in the fourth quarter for the most part because Jalen did a lot of running.
All over the field.
So
which I was happy to see because, we really didn't need to lose this game. I'm a big Eagles fan, by the way.
Some of those teams make great adjustments at halftime, but I don't think the Colts did.
Yeah, the Colts don't have a whole lot to adjust to. I don't see why our offense the last couple of weeks, I know Goddard got hurt last week. He was a big part of the offense. I don't think he was that big a part that we can only score 17 points against the Colts. Hopefully they figure something out before next weekend.
Well, I think people are starting to look at tape, and you're going to see Philadelphia struggle from here on out.
Well, I watched this game with obviously piqued interest being a Cowboys fan because I thought the best thing was going to happen all day. Giants were losing, Philadelphia was losing, and forget about the commodes. They're going to beat Houston.
Oh yeah,
but they're not going to go anywhere.
Wow.
So Indianapolis on that last drive when they were up 6 basically started playing what I call a soft cover 2 defense, which was don't get beat by the deep pass and allow Jalen a lot of room to run and scramble out of there. You get him down to 3rd and goal at the 10, I think was what that play was. And they intentionally go wide with 4 wide receivers to see what you do, and they vacated the middle of the field with the linebacker and put him as an edge rusher, which left the entire middle of the field open, which they did not do for 3+ quarters of the game. And then what happens? Jalen sees that and planned right up the middle, and he didn't even get touched in the end zone. 22 players within 20 yards of each other. He don't even get touched going in for the touchdown. So, Colts, you deserve to lose that one.
I was happy to see it.
You shouldn't have lost that one, though, in all reality. But you did, so we move on. My head was over there. I took Indy in the points, and I didn't really. I thought Eagles were going to win some way like this, but not coming from that far back. I thought they'd just get a field goal.
And this next game.
Oh my God!
I mean, you don't even have to do that. It's, to me, every time they punted the ball the last quarter, they kicked it out of bounds. Hell, obviously, we had a 3-3 game, till 10 seconds to go in the game. There's a lot of punting going on. Kept kicking the ball out of bounds. They decide, hey, why don't we just go ahead and kick it to him, see what happens? And then he burns you and wins the game without going to overtime.
17 punts and like 13 first downs or something like that all game. It was nuts.
Such a terrible game to watch.
Now, here's the one that I don't know would have mattered in the final outcome, meaning who won the game. But did you notice at the end when that kick returner was about the 10-yard line, some Patriots defender went ahead and chucked the dude in the back for the Jets, trailing the play?
Oh, I didn't see it.
I did.
Oh, my goodness. And the referee that was on the punter side and was trailing back, obviously, as the play was coming his way. He was backtracking. He could see it looked like he was looking right at it.
Well, they say they hit him from the side. Problem with that is he fell forward.
Yeah, he didn't hit him from the side.
If you get hit from the side, you're going that direction. And if you get hit in the back, you're going forward, and that's what happened to him. And it's like, oh, no, it wasn't a block in the back. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, and to say that wouldn't have mattered, he might have tripped him up and got him down at the 6-yard line. They would have kicked the field goal probably from there to win. Anyway, but still, it was just an amazing fact that was a clear block in the back. No flags.
Yeah.
The Belichick's win again and they end up covering. Because that didn't look like it was going to be a cover game at all.
No, I figured it was going to be 6-3. The whole game watching it, you think the final score is going to be 6-3.
But it wasn't, so you see those two beautiful heads.
Yeah, those picks were for free.
All right, Rams at
You're
the
welcome.
Saints. Yeah, well, I thought the Rams were going to put up more of a fight here. Saints look like a dump truck fire. The Rams are a bigger dump truck fire.
I should have known not to go against the Saints at home.
I like the over in the game.
Yeah, well, you don't.
38.5 was good.
You don't go against the Saints at home, but they haven't been winning much at home.
Yeah,
because I've been thinking the same thing. Baltimore beats them there.
Then the Rams have somebody hurt.
Well, Stafford came in, and then he got knocked again. No, it's got concussion again.
Yeah.
Man, he's kind of like that. Didn't Romo have that problem?
I know there's 7. No, not concussions. Aikman did. Romo was had every other bone in his shoulder hurt or back, or he was more of a broken bone somewhere in his body dude than he was concussions. But anyway, congratulations, Saints. Now you're still in it at 4-7, so we get to see more of that action.
Well, you know who's not in it anymore? The Super Bowl champs. They're done.
They're done.
They're done.
Probably need Cooper Kupp to just go ahead and make some vacation plans, rest that ankle or that
get ready for next year.
And then you might as well do the same with Stafford.
Right.
Just do Wolford the rest of the year and put us out of our misery so we don't start any more players.
I'm guessing that Odell Beckham's not going to pick him to go back to. Right now he's trying to make his pick in where he's going to go, but I don't think he's going back there.
All right, beautiful bean footage time. The Detroit Lions' third straight win, this one on the road against the G-Men. Wow. Daniel Jones returns to Daniel Jones'em and throws the ball away, does some turnovers, and they lose pretty decisively here, 31-18, Preston.
You know what shocked me in this game? Where was Saquon Barkley?
Oh, my God. He was in my fantasy lineup.
Everybody has run all over Detroit all year long. And then you got Saquon Barkley, and it's just a tasty matchup for him, and he's just like, yeah, I don't feel like playing today.
No, what was he, 17 carries for 35?
Yeah, he didn't have
crazy.
50 yards, I don't think. So it's just.
No, it was brutal.
They don't use him. I think they've got to get him out of the backfield more. Just give him some small passes, but he's got to be more engaged in the game than he was yesterday.
And I don't know if they were saying, well, you know what, we'll just save him for the Thursday game. And then they're like, oh, shizzle. We're coming from behind now, Tigers. And it's a little too late. Bye-bye, Giants.
A little late.
Imposters. Carolina Panthers at the Ravens. This one was a forever, ever, 3-3 game?
It was.
3-6 game. And then, of course, Baker Mayfield. I can't even put it on him. He threw a good ball, just bounced up in the air, and dude fumbled it or whatever.
Right.
Baltimore gets a touchdown, kind of the cheap way, but they end up winning, but not covering that 11.5 points.
That's because they barely scored 11.5 points.
They did, and Shane was on the other side because I was taking the points on that one. Just double-digit points in the NFL never seem to materialize much at all anymore for whatever the reason. Last but not least.
It was a terrible game to watch.
Speaking of that.
This was a terrible game to watch, too.
Commandos, they go ahead and do what they're supposed to do. The Texans, I mean, they are this bad. I thought they weren't that bad. They just didn't have enough offensive firepower to stick around, but they're just bad all the way around. You take away a pick six that they threw like 3 minutes into the game. They were down already. It's like, because you look at the stat board, nobody, Heineke, the Gibson, none of those guys went wild. McLaurin.
No. Ron Robinson didn't do well because I picked him up this week. He didn't have a good
23-10. So now Washington at 6-5. That NFC East and the AFC East
are both really good.
Every team is above 500.
Right.
So that's pretty crazy. So that is your early games on the slate. The late afternoon games, the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Wow, they finally win.
Finally get a game they're supposed to win.
I just don't know. I mean, I know Jerry Jeudy was out. I just do not get the Broncos offense at all. They got one heck of a defense. I mean, if Denver could score 20 points, just 20, their record would probably be more like 6-5.
I saw a stat the other day. I was actually waiting on this game. I saw a stat the other day, Friday, I was reading it. If Denver would score 18 points a game, they'd be 8-1 right now.
Yep.
8-1.
I knew it.
If they could only score 18 points a game, and they can't get that out.
They lose.
I've seen that same thing.
Yeah, Russell Wilson got all that money. I mean, he feels like he's playing NIL money. Now I'm lazy. I don't know what's wrong with him. He cannot play the ball anymore.
Well, I do. I know what's wrong with him. He has no protection, just like he did in Seattle. So he's running for his life.
But Seattle was not 3-6 or
Right.
3-7.
They're not 3-7 now.
That
without
quarterback that's running for his life is much younger. Facts.
I mean,
He's running for his life, too, because they have no offensive line in Seattle. They have no offensive line in Denver.
Make sure you like and subscribe, folks, because you can only get that kind of insight from this guy right here on the Odds Brothers podcast.
Somebody thought he was going to be passing it all over the place.
I did.
I did too. I picked up Jeudy. I thought Jeudy was going to have a great year. I mean, he's super fast, and Russell Wilson could throw the ball, and now neither one of them are doing anything.
And you lose to the most dysfunctional team in the NFL. Not the worst team, but the most dysfunctional. So your season's bye-bye.
Now, Devontae Adams had a great game.
Well, yesterday. I know, but even at that, I mean, they only scored, 22?
Yeah, nobody can stop Devontae
Three
Adams.
field goals.
They've hit him so far.
All right, Bengals, Steelers. This is actually an entertaining game.
It was fun to watch, too.
Yeah, 37-30. Pittsburgh, you've always been able to pick good wide receivers. I got to give it to you. Even though I don't like you as a franchise or most of your fans, I gotta give it to you. You guys can pick wide receivers out of anything. Every draft they come out with somebody.
Right.
Pickens looks like he's going to be pretty dang good. I don't know about Pickett, the quarterback, but he's showing some moxie.
He's the choice. He's who's supposed to be playing right now. I feel he's the best quarterback on their roster.
Yeah, on their roster, no doubt.
So
might as well see what you got.
Right.
Next couple of years.
Najee Harris finally showed up.
You're looking like a top 6-7 pick probably for the NFL at this point, but you gave the Bengals a nice run, but they did cover, and that was what Mark said. I took the Steelers. I thought they might sneak this out just because of that half a point and how close, no matter what the teams look like, that Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Right. Pittsburgh wins in Cincinnati. Cincinnati wins in Pittsburgh. It's a weird dynamic there.
Burrow had a great game. Did you see his stat line? I think his final stats were like 355 and 4 touchdowns.
Is that what it was?
Burrow, yeah, he had a great game.
Yeesh, all right. Here's the best game of them all.
Was it?
Beautiful bean footage. 40.
I don't think it was a great game at all. It's terrible.
Matter of fact, it forced me at home to watch the Cincinnati game because they literally said, we're going to get you to a more competitive game, and I had to start laughing. I was like, no, don't do that. I'm enjoying this game. I don't get to see many of these. But this game, I'll say this because as much as I'm enjoying this is where on Thanksgiving Day they could look like a completely different team and get beat at home against the Giants, right? But
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know that they will, but I don't know that they'll do a 40-3 against the Giants. They could.
I think the Giants' defense is better.
Yes, but this is the first time of the year or all season that I saw three things that I think changes the projection for Dallas. Not that I think they could go toe-to-toe with Kansas City per se right now, but I might change my mind because Kansas City's by far looking like now they're the team that's almost shoo-in with Buffalo trailing off like they are. And I still don't believe in Lamar Jackson and the Ravens as good as their record is, okay? They finally used Pollard the way they should have, even with Zeke in.
I've been preaching it for, 2 years now, how good he is, and he should be the starting running back there. I don't know why it's taking so long for everybody to figure out that he should be more of a playmaker.
But they're finally seeing with this 3-game stretch, like swing passes, one-on-one with linebackers, just straight shots up the gut, like give them a crease and go. And then let Zeke do the dirty pounding, because when it started getting tight down there, Pollard just don't have the power to push people in the end zone where Zeke still does. You saw that in the first couple of plays when they were near the goal line and gave it to Pollard, and he got stonewalled pretty quick. So that's one. They're using Pollard. 2, they're running the ball more than they're throwing the ball, which makes it easier for Dak to sit in the pocket and give those pick plays, those pass plays.
Right.
See it out. Last week against Green Bay, he threw 44 times, and they had the lead almost the entire damn game. Why are you throwing that much? And then the last one, they seem to be using Micah Parsons like they should have, and I don't know what they were doing a little bit. Like, he's not an every down player anymore. For some reason, he was on the sideline some of the early down work, and when it came passing time, then they slid him in there.
Right, they move him all over the field.
Because all they do is basically blitz him.
Right.
He's not a run stopper per se. He can chase people down. So we'll see if that holds up, but they did 3 smart things that I think changed everything. And then the last thing I'll say, which I never thought I would see in my life, and I was scared to death. 30 seconds left in first half. Minnesota punts them down, and they end up having the ball on their own 12 or 13-yard line. I said, they're just going to kneel and get to halftime. They were up, 16 or 17-3, 16-3, something like that. And they actually started coming out passing the ball to try to move it and score points, and then they hit CeeDee Lamb with that beautiful toe drag swag on the sideline there. And then Maher hits one 60-yard field goal, and then somehow in the middle of that, with all that mess, they couldn't stop the play to review it then. They had to wait till they lined up for the field goal and actually got in the motion and kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, wait a minute, they're reviewing it now.
I thought once they kicked the play off, it was done. I didn't know they could stop that and review it after he kicked it.
I didn't either, and I just thought for a minute, I go, there ain't no way McCarthy iced his own kicker. Thought about this again. And then next thing you know, he hits another one, and that was even truer. The first one kind of bent in there. The other one went right down the gut. So that's your Dallas Cowboy fandom moment brought to you by absolutely nobody.
You got Dak did throw any interceptions.
That's true.
That was the biggest change that Dallas did for this game.
Well,
but they didn't tell him, hey, even though we're kicking the shit out of these guys, go ahead and throw it 3 downs.
I mean, if he does throw his 2 touchdowns, it would have changed the dynamic of the game.
Wow.
He just has to continue to do that if he wants to be in contention.
Well, he's got to have somebody to throw the ball to. That's my biggest takeaway from the whole. I mean, who is Dallas throwing the ball to? CeeDee Lamb?
That's it.
And CeeDee Lamb?
Primarily, but Gallup did look the best he's looked all season. It wasn't necessarily his stat line. It was the way he was actually going on slants and cutting hard and making those catches.
Actually running routes?
Yeah, actually running routes, exactly. Somewhere along the line, they might get OBJ. I'm not real excited about that, to be honest, because I don't know what he's got left with that knee. James Washington was supposed to be back by now, and he's not even practicing at this point.
I thought Jalen Tolbert coming out of the draft was going to be your number 2 guy, and he hadn't even seen the field, has he?
He
barely.
He lines up offsides 2 yards and then looks over at the ref and like, oh! I mean, instead of looking over at the ball and see you're clearly over it, you're looking over at the ref like he's going to tell you need to move back. You have to literally ask him if I'm good. He's not going to go, hey, you're offsides. Go ahead and scoot back.
Right.
That's not how it works. But that Green Bay game, he's looking over at the ref, and even the ref's behind him. You know where the ref is? He's over the ball. He's supposed to be anyway. It's just something tells me that he's not picking up on the playbook fast enough, or issues that they trust him out there.
They're gonna have to find something, because I don't think they can stay a run dimensional, just one run and make it in the playoffs. But I do think that if they get another piece on the receiver and Jerry Jones backs off and stops trying to coach, I mean, y'all are playing as well as anybody else right now, and that makes me sick to say, but you are.
God, we just had a moment.
I'm not saying it.
No.
Why not? You did.
Here's another game.
You're supposedly a Cowboys fan.
I'm just being honest. I mean, I don't like it.
Here's another game.
When you guys are done coddling, let's get to this next game.
You're supposed to be coddling with me, you Cowboys.
And that ain't happening.
Chiefs, they don't cover. Should have known better. All these were 1-score games.
Yeah.
Kansas City's won 4 out of the 5 with Justin Herbert here. I don't know. That's the same problem I always see with Kansas City. Defense ain't worth the crap when it comes to passing defense. but Mahomes is just so damn tough. You lose Kadarius Toney. Thanks. I started him in a lineup. I appreciate that.
Oh, that's why I beat you.
Not in any of those. I didn't get him in any of those. Other people swiped him up quicker than I did in a different league, though. Kadarius Toney got hurt. They lost another guy. Ended up with Sky Moore. Oh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Not that he was a huge part. But
and Juju was out.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
He was out.
Yeah. And so all you need is Travis Kelce.
I guess that's
one
it.
guy.
I thought
3 touchdowns.
Valdez-Scantling. I thought he was going to step up and take Juju's spot. He only caught 1 ball.
Yeah. Had about 3 others bounce off his hands. And
yeah.
That's why Green Bay said, bah. Indianapolis said, bah. And that's how he got to Kansas City on a bargain deal. Now, if OBJ somehow signs with the Chiefs and they sign him, yikes.
Yeah.
Because they could kind of use him right now.
I think those are the 3 teams he's talking about. Last I read, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Titans were the 3 teams that he was talking about going to.
Yes.
Because the Titans need a receiver, too.
Yeah. And he could be the number 1 easy there, probably.
Yeah.
All right. The last game on a Monday night, Arizona in Mexico City, even though they treat it as their home game against the 49ers. When we first started this, it was San Francisco minus 7.5. So we both took Cardinals in the points there. It is now up in most locations around 9, 9.5, or even 10. So money keeps pouring in on the 49ers here. America is split. 50% of the money pretty much is based on each side of the ball here, so the line at 10 seems to be the magic number. The over is at 80% almost, 79. So they think there's going to be some points scored here, and we don't even know if Kyler Murray's playing.
I would still take the over.
Even if it's Colt McCoy?
I would.
All right.
Because San Francisco is going to blow them out, and they'll probably score 30 of that themselves.
Oh, so you're taking San Francisco easy cover, huh?
I think that San Francisco's offense is, clicking, and I think that Arizona's defense is not. So,
what do you think, Mark?
I wouldn't change anything. I think if it was at 10.5, I'd flip over to the 49ers. But we're betted at 7.5. My ticket says 7.5.
No, I know, but knowing if you're getting 10, if you had to get up 10,
if I had to give up 10.5.
Well, you're still taking Cardinals. If you're taking the Cardinals at 7.5, you're definitely taking them at 10.
Right. At 10, but not 10.5.
I would have. No, you're taking them all the way around.
If the line's 10.5, I'd go over to San Francisco.
Wait a minute.
No, you're looking at it backwards.
You're looking at it backwards, Tiger.
Well,
San Francisco's giving 7.5, which is why you're taking Arizona.
Right. You're right. I got that shadow right there.
If it was 10.5, I may jump on Arizona, but up until that point, I'm sticking with San Francisco. I think they win by 10.
No.
All right, well, hell, if you want to go San Francisco and Mark's alternate mine of 10.5, we've got a potential profit boost for you, don't we?
No.
Are you
no
set?
profit boost.
Odds Brothers boost.
No.
No, we do have a promo for Monday night.
Yeah. There is a profit boost.
There is one for Monday.
We were trying to segue into that for you.
Yeah, we were trying to do it.
He fell apart.
Yeah, well, I got to pop up the graphic and see where I'm going here.
Oh, my goodness.
There we go.
There we go. How about that?
All right. What the heck we got here? I can't even read it. All right, so we have a 35% Monday Night Football boost on tonight's game, 49ers and the Cardinals. All right, so 35% matchup, pre-match, NFL profit boost.
Not in-game.
Nope,
single bet.
Single bet. You can only bet a maximum of $50. Can only maximum win $1,000. You want to check that app for all the details.
So if you want to take a good shot at this, and this is just me talking here, not for naught, but put that $50 on Moneyline for Arizona and see what you get this weekend. There hasn't been a lot of upsets. There might be one left in the bag, and this one might be the one. I'm not saying it's going to be, but you get a 35% profit boost. Sometimes it's worth just taking a shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think so. I think I like to play a prop bet in this game.
No, we're whipping through here. All right, so there you have it on the game tonight, and we'll see what's going on. We'll recap that when we come back with you on Friday. Real quick, we do have some basketball things we'll go through real quick and give your initial thoughts. Preston, you ready to go?
Yeah, why not?
All right, you don't have graphics for these, do you, Mark?
Yeah, no graphics for the basketball.
Fine. So listen very carefully, folks.
All right.
Atlanta Hawks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland's 2.5-point home favorites, 225.5 the over-under.
I will take Cleveland in the over.
I like Cleveland and the under. Barely. Barely.
I was fixing to say, I like the over.
Mark?
I like to get there.
I'm going Cleveland, and I'll go over.
All three of us are on Cleveland. All right, Orlando Magic at the Indiana Pacers. Somehow Indiana's 6.5-point favorites here.
Ooh.
I think it's a little high. 226.5 on the over-under.
Well, you going to ask me what I like about this game? Absolutely nothing. I guess I'll take Indiana since they're playing at home, and I'll go under.
The one thing I like most about this is the over if you can get it. It's almost to the point where I don't feel real great about it, but I still think that this is a 120 to 113 type of contest. And if that's being said, Indiana's probably winning the game. So I'll take Indiana barely. I think they win by 7 to 8 points, actually.
Indiana and the over.
Mox is Indiana and the over.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll stick them under.
Boston Celtics and the Bulls. Boston on the road, 5.5-point favorites. Probably the best overall team in the league, second maybe to Milwaukee, I guess, because they're doing a lot of winning as well. Over-under here is 228.5 over there in Chicago there, Preston.
I like Boston. I'll take Boston in the game. I do like the under, though. I don't think they're going to score that many points. Chicago doesn't score that many points.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I got. I got the under, and I got Boston.
Same. Ditto.
All right, Trailblazers are visiting those Milwaukee Bucks we talked about just up the road. 9.5-point home favorites for the Bucks. Over under of 214.5.
That's all?
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
That's why I have not looked. I was going to see if there's somebody not playing, like a big-time score that's not playing tonight, because to me, that line I thought was going to be along with the others 220-something.
Yeah. So say, with me not knowing who's not playing, I'm going to jump all over Milwaukee in the over.
Milwaukee and the over, huh?
Yeah, same
I
here.
think they dump truck them at home. I'm gonna hope that they score enough points. Maybe they win, 120 to 100 or something to get over it. But I feel like they win pretty easy.
I won't go dump truck, but I'll go Milwaukee and over.
It doesn't say that anybody's out. That's weird for that game. I'm going to go ahead and take the points here with Trailblazers. They've been scoring. They've been playing pretty well this season so far. Milwaukee wins, but I think Portland covers with that 9.5. And I'm going to go over.
Yeah, definitely going
I'm going to be that big dumb animal. Miami Heat on the road to Minnesota. Minnesota 8.5-point favorites at home. 218.5. Now, that's the one I thought was going to be under or low, but my initial thought is under and take Minnesota.
Nah, I'm taking Miami.
You are?
Yeah, I like Miami with the points. They may win the game outright, but I definitely like them with the points.
Mark?
Miami as well.
All right.
I agree too much with Mark on this show.
This is not going to be good.
Golden State Warriors at the Pelicans. New Orleans 6.5-point favorites at home. 231.5, the highest one on tonight's slate.
I will take the over.
You will take the over in the
I will.
points?
I'm going to take the Pelicans in the over.
All right.
I think that it'll be a shootout. Golden State's obviously going to score their points, but I think that New Orleans wins at home.
I'll go New Orleans and under. So just a little different.
There you go. Finally.
That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points, but I think they get there.
Problem is, you sit there and look, and if I were to tell you, which you probably know this, Preston, you might do it, but Golden State wouldn't make the playoffs if they were today. They're 8-9.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 1-8 away from home.
Exactly. That's why I took New Orleans, because they can't play on the road. For some reason, they're just not playing well on the road.
New Orleans is playing pretty decent basketball. Where are they at in this mess? They are 9-7 this year, but they're only 5-3 at home. So it's not like they're a juggernaut.
Still a long travel day.
It is. I'll go ahead. I'll take the Pelicans. Barely, and I don't feel great about it because one of these days I think things got to level out, and Golden State's going to be winning some of these games on the road. I just don't know when. Over under. That's a lot of points. Give me the under.
Uh-oh.
We'll talk about this later. I'm telling you, that game is going to be probably in the 240s.
Yeah, you realize you just agreed with me, right? Yeah. All right.
Didn't until you just said it.
I feel a lot better about that pick now.
But as you used to say, hey, you bought your ticket.
Yeah, that's right.
New York Knicks at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City 2.5-point favorites at home. Where the hell are the Knicks? Oh my God, 8-9. So they're not that horrible
middle.
yet. Oklahoma City 230.5. The over/under. Preston.
Ooh, I'll take. Give me the Knicks on the road, and the under.
Oh.
Knicks on the road and the under. I like the Knicks too.
Oh.
Give me the Knicks. I'll go under.
Wow.
Knicks
Well, you
usually
guys
don't
should-
have that high pace of play.
You
They
guys should
usually
be. You guys should be just fine because I took the Thunder and under.
Thunder under.
Thunder under.
He's got the Thunder down under, and we got the Knicks
You
and
just
the
wanted
over.
to say that out loud.
Yeah.
You like the Thunder Down Under show.
Utah Jazz, they're playing some pretty good ball when they had a fire sale and didn't seem to have much left in the cabinet. They're actually leading the Western Conference by 2 games, or a game and a half technically, over Phoenix. They're at the Clippers. 3.5-point favorites are the Clippers somehow, and it's 222.5 over under.
Huh. I'll take, just initial thought, I'll take the Clippers at home. And I'll take the over of the game.
Take the over the game, yeah. Utah is a barn burner at home, which they usually are.
Right.
But they're an average Joe away. They're 6-5 on the year, so I'm with you. I'm going to go ahead and take the Clippers here. And I'm going to go over. Clippers and over.
Yeah.
I'll go over, but I'm not taking the Clippers. I'm taking the Jazz.
Taking the Jazz.
Give me the points.
All right, and then last but not least, we got some top 25 men's college basketball as well for those that are out there.
I love these.
I do too. Texas Tech 3-0. They're 23 in the country. They're at number 10, Creighton Blue Jays, who are undefeated at 4-0. Creighton is 3.5-point favorites at home, 136.5 the over/under.
They should be favored by more. I think Creighton wins this game more, about 7 to 8 points. So I'll take Creighton, and they do like to score a lot of points, so I'll go over the 136.
Yes, that's what I got. Creighton and over.
You say Creighton's ranked what? 10?
10th.
Yeah, I'll take Creighton.
All right. Over/under?
Over.
Over. All of us on the same band. All right.
Whoa.
We've been watching games.
Louisville, I'm not used to seeing this, 0-3. They're at number 9, Arkansas, who's 3-0. Arkansas, 15.5-point home favorites. Over/under is 139.5.
Yikes.
That's a lot of points.
That is a lot, especially in college basketball. It's a lot of points. Give me Louisville.
You're going to do Louisville?
I am. There's got to be some kind of desperation sitting in, and they got to make a statement for themselves. And that's a whole lot of points. So
That's a whole lot of loving.
give me Louisville and give me the under. I think they grind them down a little bit, keep this game close.
I'm going to go Arkansas, but I'm going to stay with the under.
Arkansas and then I'm trying to think. Oh, there they are. Because this will be interesting. There's been so many games. So far, Louisville's lost to Bellarmine. They've lost to Wright State, both of those by a single point. Oh, my God. Their first 3 games, they've lost by a point each game.
Yep.
Appalachian State, Wright State, and whoever Bellarmine is. Bellarmine.
You'll
You know
find
where
out
that
next.
is?
I don't know where they're at. I actually picked them in that game, though. They were getting a lot of points.
So this is their. They actually. Oh my God! All right, I'll take Louisville. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, that's kind
I
of.
don't feel great about it, and I will go. I'll go under. I don't think Louisville's going to do their part. Oh, speaking of that, Bellarmine, they're
Yeah,
at
there
Duke.
they are.
They're at Duke, who's ranked number 8th in the country. Duke's 23.5-point favorites at home, 140.5 over under there, Preston.
Ugh. I mean, Bellarmine beat Louisville, but that's not saying a whole lot.
Evidently not.
What was that points again?
Total points or the spread?
No, the spread.
23.5, Duke.
Give me Bellarmine.
Give you Bellarmine.
Yeah,
All right.
give me Bellarmine. I think that Duke wins probably 16-20. But you know they'll back off the end of the game, probably give up some points, and let me stay just on the side of my cover.
The Bellarmine Knights, just for those wondering.
Yeah, I'll take
They lost to Morehead State, and they won against whoever this CD Camarong thing is.
Yeah, well.
Camarong. And then they lost to Clemson by 10.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. I'm going Bellarmine.
All right, give me Duke at home. The Dookie Devils. And I'm going under. Northern Arizona's at number 4, Texas. Texas 26.5-point favorites at home. The over-under 132.5, Preston.
I've seen a couple of Northern Arizona scores. They're not terrible.
They're not.
They're not terrible.
You must be up late at night.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to bet those obscure favorites and all the money lines, so I've seen them try to keep games close. Still up. Give me Texas. I think playing at home, they'll figure out a way to.
To me, if they can beat Gonzaga by 20, pretty
Yeah.
much 19 points, they should be able to beat Northern Arizona by 26.5.
Right.
A lot of points, though. I agree with you. A lot of garbage time crap at the end you can't control, but I'll take Texas. Oh, what do you got, Mark?
Northern Arizona.
That's right.
Yep. A lot of points.
Mark likes the points.
Ohio State's at San Diego State. Both teams undefeated. San Diego State 17th ranked. They're favored 5.5 at home. 143.5 on that over-under.
They score quick. I like San Diego State. I'll take them. I'll give up the points. And I do not think it goes over. I'm going to take the under only because Ohio State does not score a whole lot of points. So I feel like you're probably looking at a 75-60 game, something like that. So it'll keep me under.
Where you at, Mark?
I'm going to go to San Diego State. Both teams are undefeated, so I got to pick somebody. So I'll take the home team.
I was always wondering where was that going to be.
Yeah.
I think that so far this year, Ohio State has not been tested. San Diego State has, so they're playing at home. I'll go ahead and take San Diego State as well, and I like the under.
Yeah.
Cincinnati at number 14, Arizona. Cincinnati's 3-1. Arizona's 3-0. Arizona is almost 10 points. They're 9.5 at home, and the over/under 158.5. 158 in a college game.
Wow. I mean, Cincinnati doesn't score that many points, do they?
I don't think so. I'm about to look it up and tell you real quick.
I don't think they score that many points.
Cincinnati scored 98 against Chaminade.
That's Chaminade.
69 versus Cleveland State.
Right.
And their last game here was 64 against Northern Kentucky.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Give me Arizona and take the under. That's too many points because Cincinnati's not going to put up enough on their end to keep up with this game.
But you do like them to stay within the point spread, huh?
No, I'm taking Arizona.
Oh, you're taking Arizona.
Yeah,
okay.
Give me Arizona because Arizona can score. I just didn't think Cincinnati scored enough, and obviously, other than Chaminade, which probably plays defense like us three and a couple of these other guys on the floor over here.
Arizona scored 117, 95, and 104 so far in 3 games.
Arizona, and yeah, and the under.
Arizona under. I got you.
Yep.
Omaha used to be UNO, University of Nebraska Omaha, but now they're just Omaha University. They're 1-3. They're at number 25 Iowa, repping the Hawk here.
I'm going to say, is this a late game added in here?
3 points it is because I didn't realize they were ranked until I went and looked. 30.5-point favorites. Iowa on their home floor, 157.5 a point spread, gentlemen.
Well, unlike the Iowa football team, the Iowa basketball team actually can score points.
Yeah, no shice.
So you said it was 30.5?
30.5.
Give me Iowa.
Give you Iowa, huh?
I'll lay the points. I think they're going to blow this game. They may be up by 30 at halftime.
So just to give you, they beat Bethune by 31. They beat NC-A&T, must be a phone company, by 51. And then they ended up beating Seton Hall by 16.
Yep.
Mark?
Yeah, I'll go Iowa. That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points.
Got me kind of worried a little bit.
Omaha doesn't score a whole lot. I think that Iowa can...
Yeah,
should put this game out of reach really early.
I do have to look at this real quick just because it's my thing. I didn't even know. All right, so Omaha's lost to Kansas by 25, 64-89. They lost to Nebraska by 14, 75-61, and they lost versus Idaho 79-72. Oh, and there's one more. You say at Ball State, they lost by 10, 71-61. So long story short, give me Omaha plus 30.5.
Nah.
Because I think they start putting in the scrubs and you get a couple of baskets at the end. I think Iowa wins 24-25 points.
Yeah, but you got to look. It's different in football and basketball because when the basketball teams put in the scrubs are still better than the starters on the other team when you're playing these games. So even putting in the scrubs doesn't really help much. Because
You can't talk him out of his ticket. It's purchased.
That's right. Give me plus 30.5.
Not
baby.
even talking to Shane. I'm talking to all of our listeners.
Oh, okay.
The scrubs are still better than the starters on these other teams.
All right, and that's it. That's your college and pro top action today. And then, of course, we got Thanksgiving coming up for 3 games. So you ready for that, Mark?
Let me see if I can find the ticky.
I know you got the Detroit Lions at home. That'll be your first game. They'll be against the Buffalo Bills. Oh, there you go. I wasn't expecting that. Buffalo, more than a touchdown favorite. And what's that, over under 54.5?
54.5.
8.5-point favorites, Preston.
Wow.
Detroit's playing a lot better.
I was fixing to say, I love Buffalo. I've been jumping on them all year.
Yeah.
But there's just something about Detroit playing at home on Thanksgiving. They might not win the game, but they're going to at least show up and play hard. So getting that many points, give me Detroit at home, and I think the over gets there. I think that Buffalo's defense has been giving up too many points here lately, and I think that Detroit will probably hang 21 on them. They may end up losing, 35-21, 35-28, somewhere in there.
Yep.
So, oops.
That's where I am. I like Detroit plus the points. They have a sneaky shot that they could win this one outright. I'm not going to pick that. Just how bad Buffalo's looked offensively lately.
Buffalo is going to win 2 games in a row in that field.
They will probably, but I wouldn't be shocked if we came back on Friday and look back and go, whew, there is some problems in Buffalo. But I'll take Detroit plus the points, and I do like the over as well.
Yeah, I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
Okay, so 3 Detroit Lions.
I would
here.
go under. I don't think it's going to go over.
2 overs and 1 under. Everybody on Detroit. Afternoon game at 3:30 or so Central Time. The Giants and the Cowboys. This is kind of the knockout for the running of the NFC East. The loser of this probably has no shot to catch the Eagles. Winner still has a yeoman's chance to try to get there. Dallas. Oh, my goodness. Really? I had to go look at that. They're that kind of favorite. I guess that Minnesota game, 44.5, though. That's the over-under. I forget it was what was the game in New York?
Yeah, it was only 24-16.
And that was 40 points with Cooper Rush.
Yep.
So I like the over here.
Yeah.
It might be Dallas by themselves if they're still on the hot streak. 8.5. Usually these divisional contests are a little rougher, but I think Dallas wins by 13. So I guess I'll take Cowboys and the over.
I don't think Dallas's record's too good on Thanksgiving.
Hasn't been lately.
But I'm a big dumb animal. I'll go ahead and take them. After the Giants' performance lately, I don't know. I don't know. Dallas did look good yesterday.
Well, and keep in mind, the first time these two teams played, and I believe Cooper Rush was the quarterback.
He was.
Yeah.
They handled the Giants pretty.
Yeah.
It was 24-16 was the final score.
It was.
So it was under.
Saquon Barkley ripped one run out, and besides that, they pretty much held the Giants in check all night outside of that.
And what's the Cowboys' record at home? They winning yet?
Home record?
Yeah.
We'll find out for you, big.
Because I know that. I know.
I'm guessing they're definitely above 500.
I wouldn't guess that.
I would.
Like that.
They built that new stadium, and all of a sudden,
Jerry's World.
Yeah, but they were not winning games after that building got open. Jerry was a little concerned.
Matter of fact, guess the first game in there was the Giants, and the Giants beat them in the first ever game at AT&T Stadium, I believe. If I remember reading the comic books. Because that was supposed to be the big thing. All right, so just so you know, standings, because that's what I'm needing. Cowboys, yeah. They always want to go AFC. So they are 4-1 at home, 3-2 on the road, 2-1 against the division this year. Yep. Giants are 3-1 away, 4-2 at home. Of course, their away games haven't been nearly as tough, but
you can't break that down to like last 2 years, 3 years.
I probably could, but we don't have that kind of time on the show. Otherwise, everybody be clicking off, all 8 of them.
Oh.
Preston, who you like?
Well, the Giants, they beat the Packers. Cowboys did not beat the Packers.
Yeah.
That doesn't really matter. I was just messing with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Dallas is going to score and they're going to win. So I think that they.
But
I don't think the Giants can score enough points.
Yeah, that's.
I just don't think that right now they don't look good on offense, and I don't think they can score enough points to stake them with them.
In the battle for Odell Beckham. All right, New England on the road to the Minnesota Vikings, licking their wounds, and they got to come around. Probably the best thing to do is play 4 days later here in their case. Minnesota 3.5-point home favorites here. The over/under is, 41.5, right?
Yep.
So, Preston.
Man. I'll take the Patriots.
Take the Patriots.
I will.
You think they can win outright or just stay in cover there?
I mean, based on everything I saw yesterday, the final score is probably only going to be 7-3 or 10-7 or something like that. So give me the hook, and I'll take the Patriots. I just think it's going to be very low scoring and not very fun to watch. And I hope the Vikings lose again.
All right. I know you do, Mark.
Vikings won't lose again. They'll get their crap together against the Patriots, who barely beat the Jets. Not happening.
It's because the Patriots defense
Vikings
is so
win.
good.
Yeah, I like the Vikings to get right. I think that they have way more weapons that Belichick has to deal with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook than the Jets ever had, including a marginally better quarterback with Kirk Cousins. I say marginally. This will not. This will be a prime time game, which Kirk usually sucks at.
Right.
So I'm going to go under, but I think Minnesota squeaks this out and covers. Wins by a touchdown to four points to a touchdown, somewhere in there. I just don't see where New England's going to score enough.
I don't think they're going to score much at all, but like I said, I think New England's defense is comparable to Dallas's. And what, y'all held them to 3 yesterday, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Not gonna be able to do it.
I don't agree with that.
Comparable to
They are
Dallas's.
comparable to Dallas.
Oh my goodness! You got rankings for defenses on there?
Well, let's just see here. Dallas so far this year has allowed 167 points on the season.
All right.
Without looking at who they've played. And the New England Patriots have allowed 169.
I told you they were comparable.
They are comparable.
See, I thought I was going just crazy there for a second.
Well, that's happened.
It has, but this time it didn't.
All right.
So
that's
if they can hold them to 3 points this time or hold them to 7 points, then I get to, have fun on Thanksgiving night and watch that game.
All right. We got pick 6 standings, Mark?
We do. You want?
How do you want to do this? You want to
let's do yours.
Let's do mine.
You ain't got to touch nothing.
Oh, I don't? You're going to just put it over everybody?
Yeah, I was. I'm not sure what you did there.
All right.
Hang
You
on.
ready?
Sure.
That'll be over me. Yeah?
I think so. I don't know.
Right
I
over
gotta
the
go.
Bentley, Mark.
Yeah, I'll find it. I just got to
I
find
see
it.
something up there.
I
Looks
got to
like
find
point
it,
spread,
Paul.
Shane.
Yeah, it's up there. I got to find it, Paul. There you go.
All right, well, I took the Bears and covered that one by half a point. My best bet of the day was Buffalo. Had to sweat that one out, but got that too, so that was 3 points. Then it went kind of downhill from there. Denver didn't win outright, more or less cover. Rams didn't win outright, and they didn't cover the 4.5. It was a 7-point game. My Cowboys easily covered the 1.5. And then, of course, at the end, the Chiefs just couldn't pull me over the line, so I got 4 points for the day.
You did well there. You got your 4 points.
I
and
still got my lock, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm on a lock of the week streak here, or best bet of the week.
And nobody got any food from you.
Nobody got any food, not even you.
I did.
How'd you get back on this screen? Oh,
I just got that real quick, and then
Oh,
I'll
okay.
roll on here on the macro.
All right.
Boom. Preston wants to be in on this.
there you go.
I scored 6 points this week.
Let's
You just didn't have it on the show.
let's see.
It happens a lot to you.
Here's your
Oh,
picks.
my goodness.
Oh, there it is.
Moneyline Mark. Well, at least he didn't get the first ever goose egg on the
Thank
show.
God.
He was struggling all day long with these picks.
Wow.
Thank God for the Buffalo Bills holding on.
Oof.
Otherwise, that would have been the donut.
It was
And
rough.
His best bet was the Giants.
The Giants.
And they got smoked
They
a little
did.
bit. at home.
And I didn't give up any money for food either.
You didn't either.
No, that's awesome.
His average Joe's got 0 for not showing up, and we did have a high riser.
Then plug my 6 in.
We did have a high riser
We did.
available on the show, but we had some audio difficulties with our new equipment. And just an update, OC's still at the top of the leaderboard for the average Joe's / high risers with 6. We're going to have a rematch with him soon. See if we can't at least get a split home and home series with him. Look who's second.
Oh,
Preston.
this guy.
Yeah, 5.
Yep.
Okay. Not
Had
too
5
bad.
last week.
Not bad.
That was at
Lost
25.
both of them. I lost on that one at
Like
the
a woo.
last second of the game.
All right, and then last but not least, do we have the
We do have
Locks?
the standings. We got
we got standings first?
we got the leaderboard here.
there I am.
Yep. We got
I'm
that.
in the 40s.
Oh, Yeah.
Moneyline Mark at 33, 27 for the Joes minus a week error, and then of course High Riser's missing a couple of weeks.
2
there.
weeks. We missed 2 weeks.
Oh, you missed 2 weeks. That's right.
Well, if they don't want to participate, they're scared.
So there you have it there. And just for the record,
I don't think well,
you had that one
the big
overall
one.
big screen one, but it wasn't completely filled out right.
Let's see if
Right.
let's see where I stuck that. Do you remember where I stuck it?
I'm just going to leave that alone. Too many possibilities for answers right here for me to say that on live.
I'll
live TV.
guess where you might have stuck it.
All right, let's turn that off. Let's turn this on. That ain't it.
That ain't it.
I don't know where I put it.
Anyway, I think I was. You were 12 of 21 at the time, and I think I was 15 of 21. So I'm 16 of 22 for best bets.
Is this it? Hey,
There we are.
There we
16 picks of the week. I think it's out of 22 there. So
go. Yeah, 16 of 22.
there. That way we take our face out of there. 41.5 out of the pick 6 game so far. I had one tie. So there's the stats so far. NFL win percentage and NCAA, that's not accurate. That's just some numbers in there until we
Stat
get
check.
those in. And then our highest picks are point
He'll
totals
say
in a
90.
week. was 5. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
And so far, I've given out $75 in food vouchers because they beat at least me, and then Mark's given out $125.
I don't think that's accurate. I thought y'all both got 6.
Nope. We both had 5.
Oh.
He says, ow.
I thought you both had 6. I guess you missed your lock the week you got the 5 out of 6 and missed the lock.
Yeah, I've got 5 teams correct and missed the lock. You right about that.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. What's say here? I don't know what's.
You big dummy.
Clickety clackety.
Clickety clackety, here, gentlemen. Get on, get on. All right.
Now you got this thing going on here, don't you? Well,
just get ready for the ending.
Oh, I thought you were wanting to do this.
What's that?
When you doing that? Top 25.
Oh, you want to throw that up there real quick?
It's there waiting for you, honey.
All right. Here we go. There's your new top 25 rankings in college football.
I could move it.
Top 4, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU.
There you go.
It all.
How the hell did we stay in the top 10?
I don't know. USC somehow climbs above LSU, even though I realize it's just one loss. I just don't think they have a defense to be considered for a college football playoff. Clemson moving up as well. Alabama stuck right where they should be because they didn't play nobody last week. Tennessee, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how we're still there.
They just gave you a bona fide extra one because your quarterback's hurt now. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but don't ask me. Coaches vote for this, I guess. Penn State looking good there. So there it is. And then if you go to the second one, Marcellus.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the stats still. Hang on, I got. Oh no, it stayed in the Saints box.
Yeah,
Sweet.
there we go. UCLA, they moved down quite a bit. So did North Carolina after the loss. Tulane moves up a couple of spots. Ole Miss dropped the most, 7 spots for the week.
Look at them looking.
Oregon State moves up, and then Texas, for some reason, they still have in there. Somehow still have UCF. And then Nebraska, we just wanted to let you know, they dropped 3 spots from 85th to 88th after their loss.
He's studying it hard, too. He's like,
Wisconsin.
oh, man.
I was more studying the Tulane being over Ole Miss. When's the last time you saw that?
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Oh,
let me try
good
this
stuff.
real quick, see if this happens. Ready?
All right.
Nope.
No, it ain't going to do it.
I got some shirts.
Yeah, he's got some shirts behind him. You want to see what it really looks like? There, look at everybody multiple times. I'm everywhere you want to be. All right, that ain't going to work.
That's too much Shane.
That's too much Shane. All right, everybody.
That's sweet. I like that look right there.
We'd like to thank everybody for watching the Odds Brothers podcast. Keep in mind, we do recordings every Monday and Friday, so we will be with you the day after Thanksgiving. Try to get it out a little earlier because there'll be some top 25 games that we'll try to pick and timestamp so you know that we don't cheat on that one. And then because of the 3 NFL games, there's no teams on bye next week, but that does take six teams out of the equation, plus your Monday night games. So the picks next week are going to be high and tight.
Yeah, that's
not
awesome.
a lot of movement unless everybody's just on the complete opposite of each other
right
on a game. So we'll see what goes on. Preston,
thank y'all so much
for showing on the show.
I appreciate it. I'll be back, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I know
you will
that,
be.
there's one week I've got to come in and talk, to you right before the Eagles-Cowboys game.
Yeah, that'll be a big one. Right before Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll have that show.
Wait.
That'll be on Friday as well.
I can't wait for that one.
I know. I haven't picked up
It'll be a good
one
game.
word yet of the Eagles fight song. That's how confident I'm feeling today.
Whew, well, just in case, I went ahead and found the lyrics to it, and I'll have it put up on the screen so you can read
can do
along.
it. All right.
No, not we. You.
All right.
All right, get out of here.
We'll see you on Friday, everybody. Peace out, America.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to the Odds Brothers podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Presented by the Bentley Sportsbook. Place your sports bets here from inside Southland Casino or from anywhere in Arkansas at southland.bentley.com.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Be sure to follow the Odds Brothers podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Keep in mind, in Arkansas, you must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Please play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.